Security frameworks that once provided robust protection are now leaving organizations vulnerable to new types of attacks, particularly those targeting artificial intelligence systems. This shift highlights a critical gap in cybersecurity as AI technologies become more integrated into business operations. In December 2024, the Ultralytics AI library was compromised, leading to malicious code installation that hijacked system resources for cryptocurrency mining. Just months later, in August 2025, a leak of malicious NX packages exposed thousands of credentials across various platforms. Reports indicate that these breaches contributed to the staggering figure of 23.77 million secrets leaked through AI systems in 2024 alone, marking a 25% increase from the previous year. Next, we'll explore how traditional security frameworks are failing to address these emerging AI-specific threats and what organizations can do to adapt. If you found this update helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to InfoSec Now for the latest cybersecurity news. Your support really helps us continue building useful content for cybersecurity professionals. Timeline of AI security breaches. The landscape of cybersecurity has dramatically shifted in recent years, particularly with the rise of AI technologies. The breaches that have occurred illustrate a troubling trend where traditional security measures have proven inadequate against AI-specific threats. In December 2024, the Ultralytics AI library was compromised, marking a significant incident in the timeline of AI security breaches. Attackers injected malicious code into the library, hijacking system resources for cryptocurrency mining. This incident underscored the vulnerabilities within AI development environments, particularly how traditional security frameworks fail to protect against such sophisticated manipulation. Fast forward to August 2025, when a series of malicious NX packages leaked a staggering 2,349 GitHub, cloud, and AI credentials. This breach highlighted the weaknesses in dependency management and the need for more robust validation processes, especially as AI systems increasingly rely on external libraries and packages. Throughout 2024, vulnerabilities in ChatGPT allowed unauthorized extraction of user data from AI memory. This breach revealed critical flaws in how AI models processed inputs, demonstrating that even organizations with strong network security and access controls were left exposed to attacks that exploited the AI's natural language processing capabilities. The statistics are alarming. In 2024 alone, AI systems leaked approximately 23.77 million secrets, a 25% increase from the previous year. This surge in data exposure emphasizes the urgent need for organizations to reassess their security strategies and align them with the unique challenges posed by AI technologies. The common thread among these incidents is not merely the nature of the attacks but the fact that the affected organizations had established security programs that met compliance requirements. These frameworks, such as NIST CSF and ISO 27001, were designed for traditional IT environments and did not account for the novel attack vectors introduced by AI. As a result, organizations that passed audits and adhered to compliance standards found themselves vulnerable to breaches that exploited gaps in their security posture. The evolution of attack methods such as prompt injection and model poisoning further complicates the landscape. Traditional security controls are ill-equipped to detect these types of attacks, which can occur within legitimate workflows and exploit the very functionalities that AI systems are built upon. As organizations increasingly integrate AI into their operations, the scale of exposure grows. Many do not even have a complete inventory of the AI systems in their environments, let alone the capability to implement AI-specific security controls. The urgency for a paradigm shift in cybersecurity practices has never been greater, as organizations must adapt to a reality where compliance does not guarantee security. In summary, the timeline of AI security breaches highlights a critical juncture for organizations. The lessons learned from these incidents serve as a call to action, to evolve security practices, embrace specialized AI security measures, and proactively address the vulnerabilities that traditional frameworks cannot cover. The window for effective action is closing, and those who fail to adapt may find themselves at the mercy of increasingly sophisticated threats. As organizations increasingly integrate artificial intelligence into their operations, the inadequacies of traditional security frameworks become glaringly apparent. These frameworks, such as the NIST Cybersecurity Framework and ISO 27001, were developed in an era when the threat landscape was starkly different. They focus primarily on protecting conventional IT assets and do not account for the unique vulnerabilities introduced by AI systems. This disconnect is not just a theoretical concern. It manifests in real-world breaches that have exposed millions of sensitive credentials and data. One key area where traditional frameworks fall short is in their treatment of access controls. While these controls are designed to manage who can access systems and what actions they can perform, they do not address the nuanced threat of prompt injection. This type of attack exploits the natural language processing capabilities of AI systems, allowing malicious actors to manipulate AI behavior without triggering conventional security alerts. As a result, even organizations with robust access controls find themselves vulnerable to attacks that bypass these protections entirely. Similarly, the integrity controls within these frameworks are ill-equipped to handle model poisoning. In traditional IT environments, unauthorized modifications trigger alerts and responses. However, in AI systems, the training process is inherently authorized, making it difficult to detect when training data has been compromised. Attackers can corrupt the datasets used to train models, embedding malicious behavior within the AI's operational framework without ever breaching the system in a conventional sense. The challenges extend to the AI supply chain as well. Traditional supply chain security measures focus on vendor assessments and software integrity checks, but these do not translate effectively to the complexities of AI development. Organizations struggle to validate the integrity of pre-trained models and datasets, leaving them exposed to risks that current frameworks do not address. This gap in protection is particularly concerning given the rising number of AI systems being deployed across various sectors, from customer service chatbots to automated decision-making tools. In light of these vulnerabilities, organizations must not only recognize the limitations of existing frameworks but also take proactive steps to enhance their security posture. This includes implementing AI-specific security controls, developing capabilities for semantic data loss prevention, and conducting AI-centric risk assessments. The urgency of these measures is compounded by mounting regulatory pressures, such as the EU AI Act, which imposes significant penalties for security violations. Ultimately, the evolution of AI technology necessitates a corresponding evolution in security practices. Organizations that adapt their security frameworks to address these new threats will be better positioned to defend against emerging attack vectors, while those that cling to outdated compliance measures may find themselves increasingly vulnerable in a rapidly changing landscape. The time to act is now, as the window for effectively mitigating these risks is rapidly closing. As organizations increasingly adopt AI technologies, the consequences of AI-specific attacks are becoming alarmingly clear. The breaches involving the Ultralytics AI library and ChatGPT vulnerabilities illustrate a disturbing trend. Traditional security measures are failing to protect against sophisticated AI-targeted threats. Despite having robust security programs and compliance with established frameworks, these organizations experienced significant data leaks and system compromises. This gap underscores a critical misalignment between existing security practices and the evolving nature of AI threats. The primary issue lies in the fact that traditional security frameworks, such as NIST Cybersecurity Framework and ISO 27001, were developed in a different era. They focus mainly on conventional IT assets and do not account for the unique vulnerabilities presented by AI systems. As a result, organizations are left exposed to attack vectors that these frameworks do not address. For instance, traditional access controls are ineffective against prompt injection attacks, where malicious actors manipulate AI systems using benign natural language commands. This highlights a fundamental flaw. The semantic nature of AI interactions bypasses conventional security measures, rendering them obsolete. Moreover, the integrity of AI training data poses another significant risk. Model poisoning attacks can occur during the legitimate training process, making it challenging for existing integrity controls to detect unauthorized modifications. Traditional frameworks are not equipped to recognize these threats, as they focus on external breaches rather than internal data corruption. Consequently, organizations may unknowingly deploy AI models that have been compromised, leading to severe operational and reputational damage. The AI supply chain also introduces complexities that traditional security frameworks are ill-prepared to handle. Organizations must now consider the integrity of pre-trained models and datasets, which can harbor hidden vulnerabilities. Current supply chain risk management practices do not extend to these components, leaving organizations vulnerable to sophisticated attacks that exploit these weaknesses. The urgency for organizations to adapt their security strategies cannot be overstated. As AI technologies continue to proliferate, the attack surface expands, and the potential for exploitation increases. Organizations must proactively implement AI-specific security measures, conduct thorough risk assessments, and foster a culture of continuous learning within their security teams. Without these proactive steps, the likelihood of falling victim to AI-specific attacks will only grow, leading to potentially devastating consequences. The time for action is now, as the landscape of cyber threats evolves at an unprecedented pace. As organizations grapple with the evolving threat landscape posed by AI, it's imperative to consider actionable steps that can enhance security measures tailored specifically for AI systems. The transition from traditional security frameworks to AI-specific practices is not merely an adjustment. It represents a fundamental shift in how security professionals must approach their roles. To begin, organizations must prioritize the integration of AI-specific risk assessments into their security protocols. This entails a thorough inventory of all AI systems in operation, which often reveals significant blind spots. By understanding the unique vulnerabilities associated with AI technologies, organizations can identify potential exposure points that traditional frameworks fail to address. Next, implementing specialized security controls designed for AI threats is crucial. These controls should encompass advanced prompt validation mechanisms to detect malicious semantic content, as traditional input validation methods are inadequate against attacks like prompt injection. Additionally, organizations should adopt model integrity verification processes that can identify and mitigate risks associated with model poisoning, ensuring that the data feeding AI systems remains trustworthy. In parallel, enhancing adversarial robustness through red teaming exercises focused on AI vulnerabilities is essential. This proactive testing will help organizations understand how their AI systems might be manipulated and allow them to refine their defenses accordingly. Furthermore, developing semantic data loss prevention capabilities is vital to protect sensitive information embedded in unstructured data, which traditional DLP tools often miss. The AI supply chain also requires a rethink of security measures. Organizations must develop methods for validating pre-trained models and ensuring the integrity of datasets, as these components introduce unique risks that traditional supply chain controls do not encompass. Without robust mechanisms to assess these elements, organizations may unknowingly deploy compromised AI systems. Moreover, the knowledge gap within security teams must be addressed. Training programs focused on AI-specific threats will equip professionals with the necessary skills to defend against these novel attack vectors. This educational effort should not be seen as a separate function but rather as an extension of existing security expertise, integrating AI considerations into the broader security framework. Finally, organizations should not wait for regulatory frameworks to catch up before taking action. With increasing regulatory pressure, such as the EU AI Act, the consequences of inaction can be severe. Proactive measures now can prevent future breaches and ensure compliance with emerging regulations. In conclusion, the urgency for organizations to adapt their security practices in response to AI threats cannot be overstated. By implementing AI-specific controls, enhancing team knowledge, and actively assessing risks, organizations can position themselves to better defend against the sophisticated threats that AI systems face. The proactive window for action is closing, and those who act swiftly will not only enhance their security posture but also set a precedent for resilience in an increasingly AI-driven world. If you found this update helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to InfoSec Now for the latest cybersecurity news. Your support really helps us continue building useful content for cybersecurity professionals.